Up next on Inside ChampCar, ChampCar's Desert Dwellers. Welcome to Inside ChampCar. I'm Brian Bielanski. He is Bill Strong. How you doing, Mr. Strong?
I'm doing good. What was my voice there, man? I don't know what happened there.
What happened to you there?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see if they can hear us on the internet.
Well, I believe that they can. I hope so.
Are you listening to us?
No.
Oh, there we go. I got us.
I just
we
see
should have like massive feedback any second now.
I just see the
there we go.
The buttons
yeah, man,
moving.
it's good. I was able to do some mowing and got my 2 properties done up and started cutting away trees, and I'm due to hurt myself anytime soon. So today I went out and bought one of those big what do you call those saws that fit on the end of your weed eater.
Nice.
So I'm going to see if I can do some damage tomorrow. Hopefully not to me. Of course, I'm going to do it when my wife is at work.
Well, you have one of those really cool state healthcare systems and pensions and all that, right? So you go hurt yourself. You got all the plenty of good health insurance.
50-minute ride to the hospital, though. So
that's true. You do live in the middle
which means it's 50 minutes to come get me and 50 minutes to go back. So that golden hour stuff is kind of out the window.
Yeah, don't do too much. Just do a little
weather's
damage.
Great here and wherever the heck I live, Virginia.
It stopped raining in California.
I saw that. So is it drought time already?
No, I think we're in the clear at least for this year. As long as they don't steal too much water from us from the Colorado River, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Speaking of Colorado River, we were just in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yes.
For the 14-hour of Daytona. And there's a gentleman here, Sean Cassidy. I think he was an ex-singer of some band.
That was Sean Casey.
The Hardy Boys. Oh, Sean Casey.
Yeah.
I have it written down right here. Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Great. Absolutely.
Fetterhund Racing, is that how you pronounce it?
Fetterhund.
Fetterhund, yes, because I was talking to Frank on our board of directors, and he knows German. Said it was something about super dog or something dog.
Fat
dog. That was it. Fat
yes.
dog. So he thought that was pretty funny. He made me spell it for him because there was many different pronunciations, I guess.
So I think I'll just create our own, I think.
So this is where we start out with Brian yelling at me because I didn't start out with the first thing we're supposed to start out with.
That's
Back
right.
to you, Brian.
And last week it was me who forgot to start out with the thing we start out with. This is a thing with us, Sean. I like to start the show with the same question every time, and then inevitably one of us moves on real fast and forgets it. Usually it's Bill.
Yeah.
Occasionally it's me.
You.
Yeah. But last week it was me. So here's the question, and then we'll get to the how you came up with the name of the team after this. How did you get mixed up in this crazy sport that we all love?
Well, I think it's just that I'm half crazy myself, so this is a natural fit. No, I've always been a car guy. I grew up with Camaros and Firebirds and kind of racing those and doing stupid stuff in those. And then I decided to move on and somehow ended up in a BMW. Not sure how the hell that happened, but
It's better ending up in a Miata, isn't it?
I'm sure I could fit in the Miata too well.
Yeah, okay.
You would be shocked. I have seen. I saw Boris Said climb out of a Miata once, and Boris is not a tiny guy. So, yeah, don't knock the Miata size wise. You can knock the Miata for a lot of things, but not for big drivers inside. So, what was the first race you ever went to? Not as a driver. What was your first? What was the first thing you ever did?
First race that I've ever been to, not as a driver, it was probably just like local. I grew up in El Cajon, California, so there's a local oval. There's a quarter-mile oval or something like that.
Ascot. No, not Ascot. Is it Ascot? No, El Cajon Speedway, wasn't it?
Yeah, El Cajon Speedway. There you go. It's now a parking lot, I believe. But it was midgets and sprint car races there, and
we're not allowed to call them that anymore. We have to call them little cars. So so being from San Diego, I'm from Mira Mesa. You grew up in El Cajon.
You and Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson's from that area. Big racing community, and like you said, with the little circle track there, every weekend I'd hear the Sunday, or whatever, and those commercials, and then we also had Ascot up in L.A. and then the
Irwindale,
Riverside, Riverside was the big one. Riverside was where everybody went to watch a racing. I don't think you're that old.
No, Riverside before my time.
Yeah. So darn it.
you know, Bill, you stepped right into that one.
Yeah.
Usually it's me flat out pointing out the fact that you and Mr. Ford were friends, but
I had this funny feeling that as his eyes glazed over, it's like, oh shit, this guy was born in like 88 or something like that. So that means he was born about the time that the track shut down. So you were born in 95, weren't you?
82.
Okay, close enough. So you were alive when Riverside was there. I was good. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
There's also a lot of desert stuff, right? Buggies and all that was big in El Cajon, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of desert stuff, off-road stuff. And I don't know. I prefer going fast instead of rolling over a Jeep every 2 seconds.
What did you grow up in San Diego?
Eastern San Diego County, out towards Alpine.
So what school did you go to? San Diego? No, that was north.
Granite Hills.
Granite Hill. Okay. It wasn't in our division, so. So you moved to Phoenix. You're out there now in the Valley. Lots of racing out there. From when I lived there in the mid '80s, there was a ton of racing at Firebird Raceway. Lots of autocross at every mall every weekend. It's not like that anymore, is it?
No. I mean, Firebird became a Wild Horse Pass, and from my understanding is that it's on its last few years. I know the drag strip, the NHRA just had like their last race there, period. Then there's Arizona Motorsports Park. We always abbreviate it AMP, which always confuses me talk online because people don't know if we're talking about Atlanta or if we're talking about Arizona. Right. But yeah, that's right next to the Air Force Base, but people complain about the noise from the cars and not so much about the jets. Hey.
Wait, where is that? Is that the one out by Luke?
Yeah, it's basically right underneath the runway. So somehow the cars are noisier than the jets. So go figure.
Yeah. So it used to be, I think it's to the west of the runway. That was just desert. There was nothing out there. There was nothing from the base to the White Tanks Mountains, other than a few farms out there. And then that kind of stopped maybe a mile from there. Now you go, there's a freeway, there's homes, malls, everything is out there. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So that's a kind of a cool place. Flat, but looks kind of fun. And I know we may be looking at going to AMP.
There's also now Podium Club is out there.
That's down by 8, isn't it? By Gila Bend?
Yeah, it's down by Casa Grande.
Oh, Casa Grande. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
yeah, Gila Bend wouldn't be a very good race, especially middle of July.
I mean, to be fair, anything in the southern half of Arizona in June or July is your tires will just melt before you even touch the track. But we deal with it here.
Yeah, which is what I like. I mean, it's a challenge because that's what we do with this endurance racing.
That's right.
So speaking of challenges, so we saw you developing the car, building the car, doing all the promotional stuff last year. To come to Daytona, and it was fun watching your build up, watching your trip out, and then you get to Daytona. What happened?
Pretty much everything that could go wrong, and then some went wrong. It went through tech, no problem, and then as soon as we were done with that, the battery cable at the back of the terminal, the connector itself just decided it wanted to snap in half. And so we had to remake a battery cable while we were there. And then, but before we even realized that was the problem, we thought it was the starter that went bad. So we went and got a different starter, swapped that out, which led to part of our problem the next morning, where we realized as we went out to pit lane that, wait a second, the alternator is not showing any charge. So we ended up finding out after the race that after we bypassed that charging circuit and all sorts of stuff just to get the car on the track, we missed one of the cables that goes from the alternator to the starter. And so that's why it wasn't charging. So we finally go through all that, get out on the track, like 4.5 hours into it, just before it started raining. And then after 12 laps, the radiator hose decided it wanted to depart from the motor. And at the time, we didn't have a coolant pressure switch and we weren't aware of it. And very quickly, as soon as it said, "Oh, your engine's hot," and then the next thing was the engine decided I'm not running anymore, and it was like 45 psi of compression, and so we were done.
God, that's like the worst. It's pretty much, there's people out there that have lucky days where just the car could be falling apart around them, but they don't know it and they win. And then there's guys that go out there that just try and try and try, and this is what happens. And I was part of that group, and I know there's many, many other people out there like that.
Yes. The good luck gene did not hit me. The bad luck one definitely. It's great friends of mine.
Yeah. So you head home. I saw the disappointment in your posts, and we were just trying, hey, man, that was a good try. Make sure you come back and let's do it again. And you did. You showed up to Harris Hill.
Yes. Well, first there was Willow Springs in between there, too. And,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where we ran into a clutch problem that happened on practice day. So we managed to, on Sunday, decide, well, let's forget it. We don't need a clutch, so let's just go for it. And that lasted about 19 laps before the clutch just completely disintegrated, and that was the end of that. But then Harris Hill went a lot lot better for us. We actually were able to start and finish the races, which was a really good motivator for that.
So what do you think of Harris Hill track?
It's a fun track. It definitely, I think the gears that I have in the car are maybe not best suited to it. Like 410s or something would probably help the car out quite a bit, especially with all the little Miatas buzzing around. But it was a fun track. Really enjoyed racing there, and we're going to be back there again this year.
I always make the golf analogy with racing. And golf is one of those sports where you can play 18 holes and hit just one shot good enough to make you think you're good enough to keep doing it over and over and over again. So you go to Daytona and you get a couple laps in and you keep going. You go to Willow Springs, you get a couple laps in, and is that kind of like you got enough in to say, I'm not giving up on this? I had a blast, even though I went through all of this pain and I drove all across the country, or I towed all the way up to Willow Springs. Is it just enough to scratch the itch to make you want to keep doing it?
It's one of those things that, again, I'm half crazy, so it's one of those, why not? And so, I'll bring it up as kind of, I work in law enforcement in our state police, and so driving fast is also kind of what I get paid to do. I'm a driving instructor for them, so I also get paid to teach other people to drive fast. So I just love to drive fast.
Who does the work on your cars? Can you blame all this on someone else?
Unfortunately, pretty much almost the only thing that wasn't built on my car was the roll cage. Everything else, paint job included, was all done in my little 2-car garage here. So no, all the blame gets solely placed on me, I think.
I was trying to help you, man.
So what do you say to the guys that have a 1-car garage that complain about the guys with 2-car garages?
Well, I mean, the other half of my garage is pretty packed, so it's effectively a 1-car garage.
Well, 1.5-car garages, but we won't go any further. So so you then come out to Daytona. Not only, I'm going to say this in the public, okay? You beat good, bad, and the ugly. You beat them good. You gave the smackdown to Bill Riley, who finished way down the line.
Well, I mean, we broke less than they did, so that was good.
So you beat Bill Riley, and are you proud of that? What do you have to say about beating Bill Riley?
And look forward to doing it again next year.
He's now cursing my name.
Who, Bill Riley?
I doubt it. I'm nothing to Bill.
I was gonna say if he's just cursing your name now, I'd be shocked. By the way, I have a feeling that Bill Riley's been cursing your name for many years.
Oh,
Bill,
yeah. So you beat GBU. You finished 69th out of 130 cars, and let me tell you, and you know this, finishing ahead of 130 was a hell of an accomplishment at this race, because though Daytona is not one of the harder tracks to drive, it is pretty tough on a car. And with that many cars out there, I bet that was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was, we had a little bit of a scare early at the race when our front left wheel decided it no longer wanted to be friends with the car and departed from us in turn 3. So we lost a little bit of time there, about a couple hours to inspect everything and make sure it was good. And so I was surprisingly not many things were broken. So we were able to get a second set of wheels on the car since the track decided, your other wheel's far enough out there, you can stay there. So fortunately, I had a second set of wheels. Another team helped out with a set of
wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we had the studs were completely bad, so I ended up just going with the wheel bolts just to get the car back going. And so lost a couple hours, but got out on the track. And then the end of the night, we one of our shock mounts in the rear decided it wanted to no longer really function as a shock mount. And we didn't quite catch that. And so I decided, all right, well, wait till it's closer to the checkered flag so we can go out and actually say we finished the race. And the few laps out there, because we thought it was just like an axle at the CV joint, a lot of play. And we're thinking it was something with that. I go and going through turn 4 at speed, and it was a little bit of a pucker factor on that, because without the right rear having any sort of shock whatsoever, things didn't quite handle right. But the yellow at the end came out with the big wreck, and so it kept the speed slow enough that we were able to stay out and
take the checker. Yeah.
Checker. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool taking the checker, especially at an iconic track like Daytona.
Absolutely.
And beat Bill Riley.
Yes, and I think there's a couple other much better professional or semi-professional teams that were lower on that list as well, or at least ones who've been doing it for a lot longer than me.
Yeah, some F1 drivers are out there, and for real, and that was kind of cool. Team Lennon, who is actually a true Irishman, and now you're an Irishman because of your colors.
Heritage.
There you go. I don't know where I was going with that. Come on, Brian. Save me here. Save me. I'm sinking.
No, I wanted to see where you were going with this. I'm like, I want to see what hole he's digging right now, because that's the fun of this show, Sean.
Yeah,
is
just hang each other out
I
there.
just want to see how deep I can get Bill to step in the doo-doo. So you were talking about the lug bolts and lug. So this is one of those German automobiles, which comes from the factory with these dastardly bolts for lug nuts. Whereas all of us, American cars might not do many things well, but at least we don't use bolts to put our wheels on. So what did you? So you transformed all the hubs to take lug nuts, right? Is that what you'd done?
Yeah, I was running the studs on them, and it generally was fine. Still not entirely sure what happened, but because the studs didn't break, they were all intact. The wheel hub itself was together. It's just they decided they no longer wanted to hold on to lug nuts. So
interesting. So were they just all stripped clean, basically?
Yeah, it looks like they got stripped when the wheel worked its way off.
Okay.
Which unfortunately happened there because I remember braking in turn 1 and started feeling a vibration. I'm like, that ain't good. But fortunately, the wheel waited till a little bit lower speed area instead of coming off on me going into turn 1. That would have been a little bit worse.
See, I don't understand that, because I see all the German car guys get out there and torquing down their wheel nuts and whatever. And I've raced multiple Toyota MR2s. And once we put the lug nuts on at home, they never change. The wheels never come loose. I have a German car. downstairs, one that must not be named. And it also thought that I could go the whole race because I thought it was me because I'm magic with lug nuts or nuts or something. I don't know.
You're just magically nuts, Bill.
You know, and you know, I want to say second stint in, the guy said, "Hey, there's something wrong with the front end." Brought the car in at Sebring, and sure enough, the lugs were all loose, tires wobbling, and that shocked me. And then I walk up and down pit lane during these races I go to, and sure enough, every guy that gets on this German car, he sits there, and you could see that thing just move to the torque. And it's why? Why do they do that? That's all right. Everybody can be quiet. I don't care. That's just just a talking point for the internet. How's that?
I mean, 3 out of 4 of them were still nice and tight. It was just that fourth wheel that decided all 5 lugs to start.
It's crazy.
I'll have to get my good friend Gunther Steiner on the line and ask him that question. So you've had some adventurous experiences at Daytona. Will you be back next year?
You know, maybe. I love the track. I love racing there, but part of me is also looking at it is a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
And if I balance it out, maybe I could do 2 or 3 additional, a little bit closer races as opposed to doing one big haul. But it also depends, if there's any other bucket list tracks that are a little bit of a drive that I want to go to, since it's, really, it's 2,200 miles each way. So if I'm going to do a long drive, it kind of is like one of those a year.
Yeah. Right. I know a lot of teams do that. They do their local races and they pick one race outside of their comfort zone and go to it. And a good one, is always Watkins Glen or Road America. And Road America is not far from you. Just straight up, make a right.
Yeah, I mean, from Arizona, I think Watkins Glen's probably a further tow than Daytona, isn't it?
Yeah, it's closer to 3,000 miles.
Yeah. But Road America is close. Yeah. We're looking at Heartland Park as well.
That's practically next door to Arizona compared to Daytona. So who's on the team with you, Sean? Who do you pull around? I'm trying to get Bill out of this one. Who shows up at the races with you guys?
Myself, obviously, my wife, she's a huge supporter of this. Wouldn't be able to do it without her. And when she's able to make it, she comes along and handles some of the back end stuff and just also tries to enjoy as much as possible. And then I have another driver that's kind of full time this year, Travis Tucker. He's out of California. He actually raced with me last year and actually kind of stuck with me after all the issues last year. So that was actually really cool. And then kind of the rest of it is some people that 1 or 2 races that are just kind of rental drivers. I never really envisioned building as a rental operation, but circumstances are what they are, and I need to help offset costs a little bit, so I rent some seats out here and there and use seat for sale or to do that, and have a lot of support through that.
All right, so Sean, Tim Elliott is in the chat, and he says that he takes all the blame for the turtle. There's a story there.
Huh.
Do we know the story?
He has a VW Golf Rabbit. So he's talking about, because they have studs as well. Or not studs, but the bolts. And basically, if you buy cheap ones, or you have to stick with the OEM, something about the hardness of them. And also, I know that with studs, if you use the ones that are well used, the threads on them have to be sharp to bite into the nut. And if they don't bite into the nut, they come loose.
I thought there was an inside joke.
So that's what she said.
Yeah.
I have not dropped the F-bomb
yet. Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah. So, we talk about, a lot of things that guys do on their cars. A lot of our guests are never in their garage, or as we like to call their Taj Mahal, Car Mahal. And in the background of yours, we never look at what you're doing. We don't look at the stripes in your car, which are really cool, or the color of the car, which again is really cool. But we look at the background and we look to see what's in the background, like tire warmers. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty high tech for ChampCar.
You know what? It just helps the tires cry themselves to sleep at night.
Oh, wait, that's a Zoom background, isn't it?
No. It actually is. It's real.
Yeah. So do those tire warmers plug in? It is Arizona. It's not like you need to keep them super warm, but you do need to keep them out of the sunlight.
It's actually insulation to keep them cool so they don't melt.
Okay. All right.
Very nice.
And it has handy carry handles on them.
Oh, yeah, the handles. Yes. Yeah.
I was going to say, do you nuzzle your tires at night? Do you spoon your tires?
Well, we saw him carry the car in that big motorhome. Or wait, no, it was a pickup truck and an open trailer.
Yes, it's the open trailer and my Silverado, and that's what it is.
So wait, you were faster than the good, the bad, and the ugly, but you didn't have an 18-wheeler hauler toter home.
Yeah, and a crew to set it up for him. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think that could be done.
I like that. The way the internet talks, there's just no way it happens. There's just not anybody showing up with an open trailer and a family with them, and people that know each other by their first names.
If you're crazy enough to drive 2,200 miles by yourself in a extended cab pickup truck and sleeping in the thing overnight during the drive, I mean, you gotta be crazy enough to beat somebody.
Wait, did your wife come with you for that?
She came last year, but this year she had other obligations and wasn't able to make it.
Okay, yeah, because sleeping on the side of a road rest stop with the wife is probably not something that happens a lot in our world. Yeah, my wife, nope.
So where are you headed next with your Fetterhund? Oh, I didn't ask a question. So what's the story behind Fetterhund?
So when my wife and I met, I had a couple of small dogs. They were both miniature pinchers, and I had just moved to Arizona, and they were left in the care of my mother, who loved giving them a bunch of treats. And so the first time my wife met them, they were a little portly. And we happened to be at my parents' house, and we heard the dog fall in the pool, and it made a huge splash. And so then ever since then, we just said, oh, but, we called the dog Fat and said that everybody heard him fall in the pool. And so when we started the team, he is still alive. And so he kind of is the team mascot. And so he's actually part of the logo. And, he's since passed like 17 and a half years. And but since that was the genesis of the whole thing. And it's kind of a unique name. So we liked it. And there we go.
That's great, because usually on this show, when people talk about portly, they're talking about me. So I'm very happy that we've got another reference.
Husky. We say husky, not portly.
Oh, don't give me husky PTSD. Man, I have flashbacks of 7th grade going to the husky department at Sears Roebuck at the mall, and getting corduroys.
I was that little skinny kid who had to get the younger kids' clothes because the older kids' stuff wouldn't fit me.
I hate you, Bill.
It was the same. It was the same, man. Trust me.
Oh, good stuff. What's up next for Fetterhund Racing?
Our next stop's going to be Hallett at the end of May, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay.
And then we have High Plains.
Have you raced there yet?
Nope.
Hallett? It's a great little track, man. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, it looks fun. So looking forward to that.
And then High Plains as well. Never been there. Have you been there?
Nope. Like going to new tracks, new places. So yeah, that, and then back to Harris Hill again to kind of wrap up.
All right.
Cool.
Anything else for Sean before we send him on his merry way, Bill?
No, just thanks for racing with us, man. It's fun watching your tour, your social media output and watching you do well on track, man. That's always good to see.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. And hopefully in the near future, we'll actually get some podium or maybe a couple fun little trophies to bring home.
There you go.
All right. Sean Casey from Fetterhund Motorsports.
Wait.
Did I mess it up?
No. I'm supposed to ask you about your TikToks.
Oh.
John, do you
What
have
about them?
TikToks? Do you have a TikTok?
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Mark Kruger from Kruger Tuned Racing said, hey, ask him about his TikToks. Are they bad?
So again, that's just another way we kind of promote the team and
Right.
And our racing adventures. And yeah, I think him and I follow each other on TikTok as well. So
Darn it. That's another reason I have to get on TikTok.
Yeah, definitely.
yes, it's not just rumors about you.
And actually, before we go, Lee Molman says that it was great being garage mates at Daytona this year. So
There you go.
You've got fans, Sean.
You do.
That's
Yeah,
good stuff.
they love your postings on the what have you done today in your car.
Well, awesome. Well, I guess I'll have to do something on my car recently since it's just been sitting here since I got it off the trailer.
Pull out the tire warmers, show those off. Hey, look what I got.
Nice. All right. So when we come back, Bill normally comes up with the tech tip like 30 seconds into the show. Yeah, we've got a little break, and then Bill, you've been talking about the tech tip since yesterday.
I can't wait.
I know.
Just
wait. Don't wait. Here we go. We're right back. Don't go anywhere.
ChampCar is an endurance road racing grassroots motorsports series. The idea of ChampCar is you can get a bunch of buddies together and on a budget go to these premier racetracks all over the United States and up into Canada and get maximum track time.
Josh here, Wasting Money Racing. The things that really draw us to ChampCar that we love is that the series is a little bit more serious than the other entry-level endurance racing series. And the series as a whole is like a big family, and everybody is always willing to help each other in any dire situation that you may have.
The rulebook is intentionally kept small to make it simple for everybody to go racing, and yet control costs for the competitors. For sure, one of the most exciting things for me with ChampCar was that I get to race on all these amazing racetracks, and it's super easy. No licensing, no special qualifications. All you need is your driver's license, your gear, your membership. Rent yourself some seat time, and you can go racing this weekend.
I enjoy racing with ChampCar because I think they provide the closest competition of all the amateur endurance series, and because they race at bucket list tracks.
Hi, this is Rick Brazar from Savannah, Georgia, RPM Auto Works Racing and Apex Predators Racing Team. What I like about ChampCar Endurance Series is the opportunity it gives an old guy like myself to get back into some competitive door-to-door racing with a modest budget. You can put together a really nice car for not a lot of money, and it's a lot of fun to go out there and mix it up with some top-notch drivers. I enjoy the camaraderie, I enjoy the friendship, and I enjoy the program that ChampCar Endurance Series has put together.
And welcome back to Inside ChampCar. Bill Strong's in the state that's for lovers. I am not.
I don't know. Hollywood, man. Hollywood. How's Hollywood out there?
Southern California gets a bad rap. I love it, man. I just love it.
I just don't like the traffic. That's, to me, it's just too crowded to when I lived there.
So I shouldn't say this on the YouTubes. It's my opinion that all of the traffic complaints are from people who live here who want the rest of the country to think traffic sucks here, so they don't move here to make it worse. But I've lived in Atlanta. I lived in New York City. I grew up in Chicago, and it's not a whole lot worse than any other big city, man.
And
it really isn't.
That's true. Well, I don't know. My city, population 30.
Yeah, but I said big city.
Oh, yeah.
I try to get around.
We get two cars on the road, and it's a traffic jam.
Try to get around the perimeter of Atlanta during rush hour, and
that's really, even going through the middle of it during the middle of the day when everybody should be at work is really bad.
Yeah, you do that and then come out here and tell me it's any worse. Probably not any better, but it's certainly not any worse. So, and getting around DC, man, that sucks too. Going through the Beltway,
DC does suck.
So
we go around that.
Yeah, but I don't have to shovel.
Not that bad.
I don't shovel sunshine out here.
No, I do miss Southern California. I grew up there. I miss aspects of it.
Yeah,
but I live in the absolute middle of nowhere and love it.
Man, you live in God's country. I really know the area well. We lived in Louisa, just off of Interstate 64 between Richmond and Charlottesville. You live south of Charlottesville.
Yeah,
I love it down there. We used to I worked on an ambulance service, and we had to go down to Livingston all the time with a patient.
Yep, that's where
you're not far
that's
from
our
there.
main town. Yep. Population 400.
Yeah, there's a little deli, a little convenience store there that we used to stop in and get lunch, and
that's now a Mexican joint.
That you don't want that on an ambulance.
So
yeah, you don't want the residuals.
It's actually really good food.
I bet it is. So, all right. So you've been talking about this. Oh wait, hold on a sec. I got a button to press. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, so that's our tech tip music.
Hear the music, so
okay, yes. I'm sorry. I should have done the head bob so you knew. So yes.
So my son and I, if you have been following us on the internet, when he comes home, because he now lives in Richmond,
right.
But when he comes home for the weekend, we're trying to rebuild my old BMW, my 04 BMW 330 Xi, which broke in 2010 with my wife driving it for a lot of miles with no water in it.
So,
all
right, folks. Bill's a car guy. Okay, that car broke 13 years ago.
Yes, and we set it in the shop. I'm gonna me and my wife buy an engine for it, so she bought an engine, really nice one too.
Good.
And we set it in front of it, and we went racing. 2009 we were racing, and 2010 is when we were really full bore racing, and 2011 is when I and basically everything just went to hell. My property, if you notice, I'm finally cleaning up my property. Racing was number one, and we spent every waking moment when I wasn't doing my day job to earn money to go racing. We're doing this. So my son decided he wants a better car because he has a really nice girlfriend and she likes better cars, supposedly. She's got an Audi. I don't know if that's any better, but so he wants a nicer car. And so he convinced my wife to give her my car.
Yep.
So we've been working on it for a few weeks. And we went to start it, and we got it to turn. It cranks, no start. So, we do the internet searches, as you do, because the Bentley manual I have is absolutely freaking useless. Freaking useless. And, I spent a ton of money on this damn thing, and it's useless.
Yeah.
So we start going through the, we have air, we have spark. We don't have fuel. So why don't we have fuel? So, hey, let's tear apart the tank that has like 15 fuel pumps in it because, it can't be simple like a Toyota with just one pump. It's got two or something to that. It's got two things in it. So we pulled one out and it's not even connected to anything. A mouse chopped through a wire. Decided to eat some of the cabling for that. It's the only cable we've found in that whole car that's been chewed on.
Wow.
So I'm lucky. There's a little nest down there. He took a picture, put it on the internet. So my son, being a HVAC guy and going to school to do that as well as working. Decides he's an electrician, so he's going to fix it, and he's going to fix it. But we needed to get some tools, and most of my stuff is in my trailer. So we make a trip to AutoZone. We had to pick up a couple things, and while in AutoZone, we needed to pick up headlights and some other bulbs and stuff, and I noticed these. Ooh, where's the camera? Wrong camera. So yeah, really nice wire cutters. And the real cool thing about this is that
there's some magic
after you cut the wires.
What are you gonna have?
You now have a crimper.
Crimpers.
So wires, crimper, cutters, crimpers. So I think this is the coolest tool ever because one tool.
So
and it's good quality, and it's made by it's made by somebody, sold through AutoZone. It says Duralast right on there, like $30, and well worth every penny. And it's nice. I mean, it's a nice kit.
All right.
So
I'll put a link to it.
Tool tip of the day because it's nice.
I'll put a link in the show notes, and in the interest of full disclosure, it might be an affiliate link, so I'll get like 1/10 of 1 cent if you buy one.
Yeah, that's cool. And ChampCar does have AutoZone as a marketing partner.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll put the AutoZone link in.
Yep.
So, and I'm not an affiliate on that.
You're cool. You're cool with that. So so with AutoZone, all our members that are paid in full, they can go to their ChampCar membership page, click on the member, go into your member portal, and then you'll be able to go on the right-hand side and look for your discounts and membership card link. Click that, and boom, there's a coupon for using it at AutoZone. You do need to be a member of their car club, and once you do that, then it's just a matter of just showing them that. They scan it, they ask for your phone number, and boom, you get a discount. So
nice.
On
everything you buy?
Points. Yeah. Not
most
special
everything?
orders.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually with racers, if it's on a weekend and they don't have the part there, you don't get it. But for the most part, if they have it in stock, you get the discount. So
nice.
I save money on batteries because I'm having to buy batteries all the time for all these kids' cars that I keep going. But great tool. They have a bunch of other tools in there. They even have a loaner program for tools for those guys that don't want to buy the tool and carry it in their trailers. Heck, Fetterhund, you have an open trailer. You don't want to spend the money to buy the tool because where are you going to put it? You know, like you've already got all your, food and everything in the back of the truck with the spares and all that. You don't have room for all this stuff. So you can go rent the tool down the street at AutoZone and use it during the race. Take it back.
You don't
need tools during a race.
We've all seen the video of all of the 100 people getting out of the back of the Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So when I would tow my Civic, my improved touring Civic to the racetrack, and I get to the racetrack, and I would often tow it on a towed dolly. It wasn't even a full trailer. But I'd get to the racetrack, and I would be pulling crates of stuff out of the back of that Civic, and people would laugh at me because they're like, how many crates can you fit in the back of the Civic? And and it would be like that, seeing people get out of the Volkswagen Beetle. I was able to stuff 100 crates into the back of a Honda Civic. So I'd probably just take the tools with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have it. Because, I travel cross country with a 2005 Toyota MR2 packed with my gear for shows and stuff. And I don't really have a lot of room for tools. So I know what the MR2 takes.
Mm-hmm.
I can basically rebuild it with just a few tools. And this is kind of one going in because it's one tool replaces a bunch of stuff. So it could even be a hammer. No, just kidding.
Actually, you've just come up with our tech tip for next week. You've just given me an idea.
A hammer?
No. I'm not going to tell you. Then it would be this week's tech tip.
Okay.
You've just given me my tech tip for next week.
Okay. It will be. So
it be. What else do we got, Bill?
We are getting ready to head west, young man.
Ooh.
We are getting ready to go to Ozark.
Oh, so you're going west adjacent.
It's west, Missouri. Isn't that Midwest?
Well, but what if you're in California? Then you're going
Middle Earth.
What if you're a ChampCar racer from here? Then you're going east.
East, correct. So we got some news today from the track. Let me pull that up here real quick. I'm going to read it out loud to you guys.
Uh-oh, do we need some like special breaking news? I don't have a breaking news sounder.
Wait, what do I have? Oh, no, I don't. That's all. That's on the other board.
Let me see. Hold on. Do I have a drum roll? Is this drum roll worthy?
This is drum roll worthy.
Okay,
Except
hold
I
on.
have to find it first.
Okay, well, let me know. I don't have.
Oh, that's why I'm in the wrong forum. I'm new to this internet thing, guys. Lake of the Ozarks Grand Prix test +8+8. That's okay. I can go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So we got an email. You can go over to forum.champcar.org and go to the race, the upcoming race threads, and you'll see I put in there some stuff. Did I? Wait.
Oh,
Did I
boy.
put it in the right race? I must have done that. Oh, golly. See, I prepare so well for this. Oh, because I'm on the... Sorry. Okay, let's rewind this. For some reason, I clicked the
Bill.
wrong thread.
We're live.
Here we go. Golly gee whiz, Batman. All right, so from the track, we got they're working every day to make it better for us. To include, for example, the Armco going into turn 1 has been removed from the track. Over 800 feet of it was replaced with concrete barriers lined with tires off track all the way through the corner. No more guardrail on the track in turn 1. So they pushed it back. They put Jersey barrier down there and lined it with tires. As of today, and that's today, OIR, or Ozarks International Raceway, has entered into an agreement with Renegade Racing Fuels. Renegade has a winter contingency for any series of running their fuel. So you need to go sign up at renegadefuel.com, and the link is in the post. And so, yeah, you can win some money or something. And new for our event, 91 octane, no ethanol, will be sold at the track. Currently, the pump price is $4.85 per gallon. To be determined, usually around the gas station price. So if the price of gas goes down, it will obviously go down. So they now have bulk Renegade Racing Hot Rod 102 octane for all you, Miatas that run that 20-to-1 ratio of, that need no lead racing fuel. They'll have that on site for $13.40 a gallon.
Ooh, baby.
And the track pump Renegade Pro 110 Plus leaded for all you Mustang dudes, because, lead rules. $660 per 54-gallon barrel on site. So give them a call. They can let you know. They also have golf cart rentals available. So if you need a golf cart, you don't have to trailer it all out there. They got them on track for $50 a day. Not on track, but
right.
You can use it in the paddock and the
on site.
Stuff. Yes, on site. They also have showers available next to the tech area in the garages. And that was probably from all those stinky people last year. I'm just kidding. But they do have showers available. And they're also going to be selling ice on site for 10-pound bags. So great, guys.
So you never have to leave.
No, you don't.
Nice.
So, yeah, we get to stay in this really sweet hotel right on the lake, Ozarks. Wow. Keep looking over my shoulder, though, for that blonde.
And on Saturday night, you can all go see Yakov Smirnoff.
Is he playing there?
I don't know, but he used to for a long. I mean, that was a thing. My parents used to do bus tours. My dad was a bus driver. Mom was a tour guide, and going to what is that tourist area there? I can never remember the name of it.
The Ozark, Lake of the Ozarks.
Is it Lake of the Ozarks? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
and that was one of the big acts they would go see. Yakov Smirnoff.
Oh,
country. Yeah. So.
So we still got some time here, don't we?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
it's your show, Bill. As much time as you want.
So we have 30 entrants for Ozarks.
Okay.
We'd love to get some more. So come on up, sign up, guys. Great racetrack. A little safer, not safer. It was safe to begin with, but just a
one less thing to hit.
One less thing to hit. Way out there. So we got Hallett coming up May 29th and 30th. I'm getting come all the way home, then turn around and go back. Get my kid moved out of college and kind of back home for a week, and then we'll be headed back to Oklahoma for the Oklahoma Grand Prix in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Fetterhund is who we just had our guest on. They're signed up for that race with their BMW. Nice. Lots of cool names on there. A lot of folks that we see down in Harris Hill. Battle Scarred will be there as well. So yeah, we'd love to see some more numbers there. Watkins Glen, of course, 1 million people signed up for that. That's another big racetrack. I saw 103 this morning. We're up to 104 now signed up for that one. What's the limit? Keep signing up, buddies. Come on, sign up. Let's get them going. And we have a lot of room at Watkins Glen. So Autobahn is coming up after that. That one we are, we won't, that's in June. So we have 15 signups right now. Love to see some more, but they'll come as soon as a couple of weeks show up. The early pay discount is April 18th, which is coming up for Autobahn. So need to get signed. Wait, is it May? No, it's April now, right?
Yeah, it's April.
Yeah, I don't know what day it is. And then Carolina Motorsports Park, that early discount, save $200 on those races. That's coming up on April 25th. We do have Sebring coming up as well. That one earliest in May. They have 18 cars signed up. That'll sell out. That always does.
Yep.
MSR Houston as well. So we've got 3 teams signed up for that guy. Come on, let's go. Nelson Ledges. Come on, guys. We got the price down on Nelson Ledges. We dropped $200 off that, $1,525. The track is working with us to keep that race going. We've got 1 car signed up. I need more. I worked so hard. Dana worked so hard. Chelsea's worked hard at that one. We really need cars signed up, guys. Come on. You guys can sign up for that.
And that's
Nelson Ledge is a great little track.
Is that a 24?
No, it's a double 8 and a 7.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's 8 plus 7, not a double 8.
Got
8
it.
plus 7 hour.
Okay.
They're going to have a test day on Friday. So whole weekend at Nelson Ledges. And then we head out to High Plains Raceway in Colorado. My first time there. Heard it's a great, fun little track. So that'll be kind of cool. We have a lot of cars signed up for that. Surprised me. 10 cars so far. We're expecting around 20, 25 cars. So
All right.
that'll be a good little race. And then VIR 24 finishes off our summer of racing. We have 16 cars signed up for the Lifeline 24-hour. And I just saw Wittenauer Motorsports. They're signed up. Racing for Heroes has a bunch of cars there. So 24 hours, that's a big one.
Yep.
And let's see. Yeah. And so, yeah, big races coming up. Remember, if you sign up before the cutoff, save $200 off your entry fee. And remember, with ChampCar, your entry fee also covers your car, all your drivers, all your crew, with the exception of your membership fees.
Right.
So, and one thing we did, I think I announced it last week, was we fixed the
website
registration system so that you guys can go in and see what drivers of yours have not upgraded their or updated their membership.
Right.
And then also for those drivers that have not filled out their agreements for their gear and also their waivers.
Okay.
We have to be careful how we say that. It's gear is an agreement.
Right.
And the
Waivers,
other stuff's a waiver. Yep. And if you're going to, so right now, so when you go to our events page that gives a list of all the events, you'll notice on a couple of, right now it's only one race because I've only got it set up on one, that there is a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
So some tracks use the speed waiver system.
Okay.
So with Mid-Ohio, I've got the event already. Just click on the download event waiver. It takes you to a PDF that then takes you to the process of filling out their waiver, taking your picture and doing that kind of stuff. And that's just to get in the track.
Yep.
Road America has the same thing. So does Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a little different though, but I will have that on the waiver links on that. Makes it super easy for everybody. And that's separate from ChampCar waivers. So just remember that.
Yep.
Time is it? Oh, we still got plenty of time. We could just talk about anything. So yeah, so just take a look at that and be aware that we want you guys to have all this stuff done before you get to the track. That way, all your team manager or captain or the team boss has to do is walk up to registration, said, "I'm here. Here's my car." Done. We hand you a packet. We hand you all your wristbands and stickers and everything you need to go racing, and you're done, man.
And
you can go sit back and laugh at everybody else for not doing that.
My thought is, why would you not want to get that all done ahead of time? Nobody likes to be in lines.
Well, I think a lot of it is the arrive and drive drivers.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's lack of communication between some of the the crew and there was a time when some of these arrive and drives, they expected the team captain to take care of everything for them.
Right.
That they didn't need to do anything. Well, legally, you can't do that now. They have to sign their waivers.
Sure.
So,
sure.
yeah. So
Well,
that's kind of a big deal.
The lawyers got involved.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it always works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also need to take a look at I was doing some work on trying to, so I contacted Racing Force Group. You've heard of them, right?
Uh-huh.
So Racing Force Group owns OMP, Bell helmets, and a bunch of other stuff.
Right.
They also do this crazy little camera that sits inside your helmet that the F1 and NASCAR guys are using. So I asked my contact there, Christian Malone, and said, hey, what do we do to get one of these cameras? Just try out or buy or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically a big ha 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 ha. Yeah. we need a bigger budget than ChampCar has in the bank.
You need a bigger boat.
Yeah, we need a way bigger boat. Yeah. So containers. We
Exactly.
need containers of money. So yeah, that's out of the question. So I'm going to start looking at ways that we can do something like that. So, but in my, search for information on the eligibility for cameras placed inside a helmet, which if you know that if you put a camera on the outside of your helmet is no longer certified by anybody.
Right.
I don't know if people know this because I watch these YouTube videos from these racers, and this weekend I watched some guy that raced a little Formula Mazda did an HPDE with a Formula Mazda.
Right.
At Willow on streets, and he had this contraption sitting on the side of his helmet with a GoPro on it.
Yeah.
And it's sitting kind of by the roll bar that's in his open single seater head brace thing. And I'm just like, what's going to happen if he rolls that thing? And I saw a rollover at Willow.
Yeah.
Between Big Willow and streets. Don't ask.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Some guy just being stupid. And something like that. Well, that guy wasn't wearing a helmet or gloves or anything. So that was even better in
Right.
an open single seater. Ariel Adam to be more descriptive. But seeing that, it's like, how can you do that? But, and I'm yelling at this guy through the screen, but basically these helmet cams can make a helmet no longer certified.
Right.
And if you ever get into a wreck and let's say your camera decides to impart itself get crushed into your head or
Right.
cause you head injuries, the helmet manufacturer is not going to do anything about it.
Right.
So neither.
I mean,
GoPro.
they won't do much about it either way, but
No.
but you're just setting yourself up for problems. We had a big Formula Ford wreck at Willow Springs in the Vintage Series I hang out with, and the piece of the car, there's several cars, and the piece of the car that went the furthest from the wreck was the GoPro camera. And course worker found it like 300 yards off the track from the cars and where it happened.
Right.
Still running, by the way. Staring up at the sky because we looked at the video, and because we got it back in race control, and the video had been running for an hour and 45 minutes, and an hour and 15 minutes of it was a shot up at the sky.
Right.
And you actually saw the sun cross over the top of it because it was late at the night. It was late in the day. But yeah, no, those can become projectiles, and you want it to go. If you don't want it to go anywhere, but if it does, you do not want it to go through your noggin.
Right.
So.
Well, I looked at some other cameras, and there's a couple of them out there. Cambox is one of them, and they report that their helmet, everything passes their stuff. But you talk to the helmet manufacturers, they say no, that doesn't.
Yeah.
You talk to the sanctioning bodies, they say no, it doesn't. So I don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
But
whatever.
I am searching around because I said, what does Cambox actually? Does it actually? Is it accepted by the helmets? And they said, well, why don't you do your research? So I did. Nothing out there on it. So, but I did find out that OMP sells a helmet called the GP8 with homologation of PH 06517C, and that is no longer allowed a FIA certification of 80. What do they call?
Whatever it is.
FIA 8859-2015. I'm like, wow. And there was a couple other some Asian manufactured helmets in there that also lost their homologation. Don't know why, but I do know that OMP does the GP8 Evo, and that is on the list.
Okay.
So most likely they were using a process that passed an earlier version or whatever, and this one didn't. So
right.
Just to let you know, if you've got an OMP GP8 homologation number of PH.065.17-C, it's no longer a legal helmet with ChampCar.
Is it if you bought it and it was legal? Because when you bought it, it was legal, right?
Yes.
So people, the helmets don't lose their certification.
This one did. It said, as these helmets can no longer be considered as complying with the standard FIA 8859-2015, their use is prohibited in all cases in which compliance with the above-mentioned standards is mandatory.
Interesting.
Yep. And
I've never heard of that before.
So even SFI does that as well. So if somebody didn't pay their bill, they get decerted.
Huh.
So
it's politics.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
if you got that GP8 non-Evo, the plain GP8, that's not a legal helmet. Or if you and we've got all this on the forum.champcar.org, and just go down, just search for SFI updates or product recalls, and whenever I find them, because we are a member of SFI, we are a sanctioned body, promoted by them. We pay our bill. So I'm able, they let us know of any product recalls and stuff like that pretty quickly, and then we post it up there. So, and I keep an eye on the FIA as well. I can't afford to join them.
I love it.
So
that's
where we are, man.
All right.
And let's go racing. Use your tools. Use your tools.
Use your tooler. Or something like that. All right.
Next week, don't know who we're going to have on for a guest, but it's going to be somebody special. Everybody's special.
Aren't they always special? Every one of our guests is special.
Yes.
They become part of our family.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we'll see you at the races. And thank you much for joining us here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Brian will go through all this again.
That's right. Thanks for doing another episode of ChampCar Live. He's Bill Strong. I'm Brian Bielanski. You're listening to the Racing Wire Podcast Network, and you're watching ChampCar Live on YouTube. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.